proposal before you along the lines that have been discussed within the parameters that we have binding us.
We're simply looking for an agreement to share the increment on allowed reimbursable expenses under your own plan. I don't.
Yeah, what I'm hearing them say that if they came up with a plan to share the increment consistent with the city's plan and the state statute, is that something you would consider? Right?
Right.
That's what I'm hearing them say.
And don't put the cap in there, and I think you can probably get the support of the council.
If I'm not mistaken, we did not make a policy decision tonight.
You haven't yet.
Yeah, I'm not supporting with a yes a policy decision. What I'm supporting with a yes is a direction to develop the proper information so that we can make a good policy decision. That's kind of the way I'm looking at it. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mayor.
What he said is, if you do all that, is the increment still there?
I think you're going to lose this deal.
Huh?
Well,
I mean, we've got a paralysis by analysis here.
well, but I think everybody's trying to gather whether or not there's enough political support to even spend the efforts and time to do what they just said they wanted to do. If there's not, then you shouldn't spend internal staff time or their time doing it. That's what they're looking for. They're not asking for a firm commitment, but is there the political support to proceed with developing a plan that's consistent with our redevelopment plan as well as state statutes that would allow, some of the TIF to be used?
I think your CRA plan already says that part. It says you have the right to give incentives consistent with the plan to developers.
Correct.
That's already there. We're just saying yes or no on this particular project. I mean, we got a $100,000 a month carry. We've been at this now 3 months just asking this same question.
You still a yes?
I still think that I agree that we have intended to assist Buddy with some of the infrastructure. I've got serious issues.
Forget the word buddy. You're going to follow the plan.
The developer with the plan, but I've still got some real questions about the dollars. Because of the way that we can reimburse the developer for the things that they're looking for. I don't want to get creative just to give them money.
He didn't say that. He said within the confines of the documents.
Well, I think you said you were willing to be reimbursed up to.
Up to. Put a cap. So if you don't want to have unlimited exposure, put a
So
cap on it.
It could be $1 or it could be $10 million.
Right. We have to spend the money to get it back, and it has to be an approved expenditure under your plan for public purpose, infrastructure, utilities.
Acquisition.
But yes, I'll
I think we're asking you to implement your own plan.
Yes.
And since you're only asking for $1, it doesn't matter the number. You could do it without the number.
I
You're
think
saying you want.
you would want a cap. If you don't want a cap,
Just leave the cap off for now. Do we have
that's better for
Don't
us.
determine that they're not determining how much they're going to share. Just that they're going to share.
for the plan?
For
For the city's plan.
For the city's plan.
yes.
Drew?
This is, I mean, it keeps carrying on and it seems to be becoming more confusing because we're hearing
Target.
and I just don't have a level of comfort with this right now.
You're a no?
Correct.
Don?
Yes.
Bob, so no?
No.
As long as I understand clearly what we're doing for the plan, I will agree. But you're coming back with a lot of information.
Are we allowed to vote at a workshop?
No, we're not. I'm
This
just
isn't
trying
a workshop. This is a special meeting.
Well, it's a special meeting, so we are allowed to vote.
This has got to go back to the council, right? My recommendation goes back to the council.
And we have two absences. I mean, I know we have a quorum, but
Yeah. Okay, it's still good.
Yeah. We're missing two, aren't we?
Yeah.
So on the question to share,
Yes. May I have a motion?
Take public.
Huh? Let me get a motion on the floor.
Let me get some help from Margaret.
I think Dennis said it best. Does the council agree to share by assisting through infrastructure of permitted public improvements?
Whatever's in the plan. For our plan.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Permitted,
Permitted.
What is permitted in,
under the plan.
I would word that precisely the way Margaret said, except I'd use the word CRA instead of council, and then I'd also say statute, per statute, and the plan.
And Peter, I think, wants to help us.
And I'll take Peter's help too.
Yeah, sorry if I could. I think frankly the idea of a cap on that as an amount is a good idea because it sets an upper limit on what you're agreeing to share. I think we've all said, I mean, nobody's asked for more than 50%. So even if, heaven forbid, we look at this and find that it's legal to share more than we expect, we should still have, I think, that 50% cap on there that developers asked for.
And let me continue my motion to say that we would absolutely cap this. I think the number 10 million is something we can all agree on right now.
50%
No, you have
after the
percentage,
payback
$1.
on our loans.
Not to exceed 10 million.
No, 10 million.
50%?
After we pay ourselves off, right?
Yeah, but 10 million, is that what we estimate it's worth? 50%
We go
after we paid off
50%
the
or 10
loan?
million, whichever's lower.
No.
I don't believe it's paying off the loan, it's the debt service. So we don't waste the bond is expired, is you pay your bond payment, and then if there's increment available, then we would get it. So it's like a second mortgage.
Yeah, let me, ready?
Good evening, Buddy LaCour representing Riverwalk. Just to set the parameter on the $6 million, something that hasn't been said, how that money was used. You only have one piece of property that we're negotiating on, the funeral home. The other properties that you purchased with that money is outside of this. You still own it all. You own Dunlawton and those pieces up there and the park to the north. So keep in mind, although you're servicing the debt, you still own the assets. So it's not a fair equation to say that's all of it, because you still own those assets. The other thing that this is dollars that we expend, and my partner and I have decided tonight, we'll make it very easy and straightforward. We'll put the cap after the reimbursement of the existing $6 million from the whole district at $5 million. Let's go. Let's move forward. Take a deep breath and let's go.
Subject to, consistent with the plan.
Consistent with the plan, consistent with your plan that we, over the last 2 years, the first time we were here was when the previous city manager was leaving and you were coming on board, and we waited. And we've gone through this regime and we've waited. I want to make it as easy as we can. Those are the parameters we'll agree to. And I don't mean to be rude, but I'm going to tell you, tonight or never. We're going to go on. We're going to move on. If we don't have a comfort level from you tonight, we will abandon the plan, and you won't have to worry about it. I'm sick of it, and I know you all are. And if you don't have the courage of your convictions to move forward on your own plan, then we're done. I'm fairly sick of the attitude that's been given to us by Mr. Ford and the hostile environment that's been created. We either go forward tonight or we don't go forward. Thank you.
Thank you.